Hello, my name is Karen Gondoli, and I am the CEO here at Leostream. Today, I want to talk once again about the HP Anyware end of life announcement that happened earlier this year, and in particular, talk about how it affects you if you connect to remote Mac OS. PC over IP was one of the few protocols out there on the market that actually works with all three operating systems, Windows, Linux, and Mac. So if you have a mixture or you are just Mac, what do you do next? Well, that is the big question that we're starting to hear from a number of our customers is they have these Mac users. What is an option for them when they need to transition off of HP Anywhere? How do they maintain a simple and reliable and seamless end user experience across all of these different operating systems without having to completely rebuild what they're providing for their end users? Well, the fact is, Mac is a little bit different when it comes right down to it than the other operating systems. In many cases, when we are talking to customers, we're talking about VDI. They're connecting to virtual machines, maybe cloud instances, and these are Linux and Windows. But now, once you introduce Mac into the picture, Mac can't be virtualized. Technically, there are ways to do it, but for the most part, what we're talking about is connecting people to hardware. So you have maybe Mac minis that are in the data center, or you're using Mac minis that are actually hosted in AWS's data center. The fact is, this isn't a VDI workflow anymore. It's really physical workstation management. And you want to provide secure access to those Macs that are simple for end users to use, and in a way that helps IT centralize the control and the monitoring of those Mac devices. Well, thankfully, there's Leostream. We give you ways to do this as you're looking at moving from HP Anywhere to another solution. And I'm thrilled to announce that we now have support for the Jump Desktop protocol. We worked with the Jump Desktop team to make sure that their protocol and our broker work together seamlessly. And that means you can use Jump Desktop for Mac, maybe also for other operating systems. But if you want to look at DCV, if you're up in Amazon, or you want to look at TGX because you have some, you're in the oil and gas industry, we see TGX used a lot. But if you want to mix these together, now you have Leostream, which is the single platform where you can do that. So just to show you what that looks like, here is my Leostream connection broker. And I'm going to start by just showing you the setup here. It's actually quite simple to set up within Leostream. Now, I will point out that to get started, you do need to license Jump Desktop, the protocol, and you can do that by contacting the Jump Desktop team themselves, and then they will create what is called a team in Jump Desktop. Now, your Jump Desktop configuration to support the licensing is a simple matter of adding your users to your Jump Desktop team. You don't need to do any of the assignments up in Jump Desktop. It's really just add your users so that they have licenses to launch the connections, and then everything else is managed seamlessly within Leostream. So as an example, here I have a machine that I've installed Jump Desktop Connect on. And if I look at that machine, I will see a section in the form that's new that's called Jump Desktop. When you install Jump Desktop Connect on the machine, you can put it in a mode called manual connection, and that allows Leostream to do its magic with that Jump Desktop machine. In manual connection, there's a URL that you can copy and paste into the Jump Desktop URL scheme here. And then once you've done that, you can also indicate up here in the login credentials the user that can authorize the Jump Desktop connection itself. Now, this is optional. I don't need to add credentials in here because maybe I want the end user to type them in themselves, but this is one way to make the end user experience a little more seamless. And this, again, is the authorization for the Jump Desktop connection, not the login to the operating system, which you'll see here in a moment. So once my desktops are set up, then all I need to do is create a protocol plan that launches Jump Desktop. Now, right now, you saw that was a URL we're launching, so it is a web browser login to Leostream that supports Jump Desktop right now. And it does require sending the connection through our Leostream gateway. And that's a really good security enhancement on top of that Jump Desktop manual connection, because now people can't get to those machines unless they come through the gateway itself. So you can architect your solution that way. And that's really it. I create a pool. I create a pool with my Jump Desktop machines, and then create a policy that assigns those, assign that policy to users. Everything else in the connection broker is managed exactly like you would do for any other display protocol or remote operating system. So here, now I'm going to log in as an end user, and I have this particular connection broker set up so it's going to do SSO from Entra ID. I happen to already be logged into Entra in this browser, so when I click here, it's just going to log me on in. And there is my Jump Desktop machine. Now, I don't have any other end user permissions, but you could allow people to reboot their machines, things like that, so that end users have more permissions. But I'm just going to go ahead and launch it. So you see it's a URI. It's opening the Jump Desktop client itself. So now the Jump Desktop client has launched, and that's the key to the licensing, is the end user does need to log into the Jump Desktop client, and then it just makes their connection. Now you'll notice right now we do not have single sign-on into the operating system, so I do have to type my credentials in carefully while talking. Oops. Oh, those are not my credentials. And then I can get logged into the operating system. So we are working on providing SSO for the operating system. That will come in the next version. You will also notice this is a Windows machine. I do not have access to a Mac right now in my test environment, but the end user experience and the process is exactly the same. If you want to give this a try and help us take the feature to the next level, you can you're welcome to do so. You can contact us at info@leostream.com. Thank you.